This is what I call meter conversion. So when we first start playing an instrument, we learn about 3/4 time or 4/4 time. The bottom number tells me which kind of a note is going to get one count. So when you first begin music, you learn that a quarter note gets one count. Then we learn that a half note gets 2 counts. A dotted half note gets 3 counts. A whole note gets 4 counts. A dotted quarter note gets 1.5 counts. And an eighth note gets a half of a count. Okay, those are the beats for a meter that has a 4 on the bottom. So when my students start going into different meters, we learn to convert these different values. So let's take a look at 4/4 and compare it to 6/8. Now we're only interested in the bottom number. So if the bottom number is a 4, and then we convert that over to an 8, what have we done to that number? We've doubled the number. So therefore, if I change this to a 6/8, all of these note values become doubled. Instead of this being a half a beat, now it's going to get 1. Instead of this being 1.5 beats, it's going to get 3. Instead of this getting 1, we're going to double that number. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 3 plus 3 is 6. 4 plus 4 is 8. So now in a 6/8 meter, we know how many beats each one of these notes gets. Okay, now I'm going to pull back the 4/4 meter again, because now we're going to compare it to the 2/2 time signature. So with the 2 on the bottom, we learned that a half note gets 1 beat. Now if I compare 4 to 2, what have I done to this number? I've cut it in half, because 2 plus 2 is 4. So instead of a half note getting 2 beats, now it's going to get 1 beat. I've cut that in half. This usually gets 3, so if I cut 3 in half, I have 1.5. If I cut 4 in half, I've got 2. If I cut an 1/8 in half, I have a quarter. If I cut 1.5 in half, I have 3/4, and if I cut 1 in half, then I have half of a beat. Okay, do you see how that works? We're comparing everything to the 4. 4 is home base. If I go from 4 to 8 on the bottom, the value of the notes is doubled. If I go from 4 to 2 on the bottom, they're cut in half. So what I have my students do is to line these all up, and then I change the meters. So in 4/4, this gets half, 2, 3, and 4. Change this, double everything. 1, 4, 6, 8. Change it to a 2, we're cutting everything in half. A quarter, 1, 1.5, and 2. And that's how to do meter conversion with ease.